Hi everyone. So in this video session, we are going to start our new module. We are going to start first module of your application development using Python subject. Okay. I hope you all watched last video. So in that last video, I explained what is Python, why we need to learn Python. So I briefly explained about the introduction part regarding Python. I hope you all watched that video. If you watch that video, then you can understand why we need to learn Python. So now we start our syllabus. According to our syllabus, which are all the concepts are there. That concepts we covered one by one. So now I start from module 1. So module 1, so I already discussed about the syllabus. So in syllabus in module 1, so we discussed about the Python basics. So in the Python basics, first we are going to discuss about how to type a program in an interactive shell. So entering expression into the interactive cell in the sense. So now before going to start typing the program, or before you are going to interact with your Python software, so we have to know how to install and all. So after install that Python programming software or Python IDE, okay. So how we are going to type a expression. So here I already explained in that previous video. So here that expression is that representation of expression or entering of expression is totally different than that of other programming languages. Here we don't have any restrictions of end of line. So each statement here we don't have rules that each statement end with semicolon. If you miss that semicolon, you are not getting any error here. Why? Because this Python is interpreted programming language. This one is executed line by line. But in previous programming languages like your C, C++, and Java, so that the programming languages, they are compiled. Okay, they are compiler. Okay, there that one is not interpreted. They are compilation programming languages. Entire code will be compiled at the end. So that's why we need to end the line by using semicolon. But here this one is interpreted. What is interpreted? So the code will get executed line by line. After you type on line, that code will get executed. That's why we call this Python as dynamic programming language. So this one is interpreted. So that's why. So here how to enter that expression or how to type that expression in interactive shell, in the sense your command prompt means your software. So that we discussed in first concept. And then next, the integer, floating point, and string data types. So these data types, so we have already studied the data types. What is the data types? But here we don't have data types, but we need to enter the data. So in the form of data type format. So means that enter, for example, integer, you enter 42, that your software itself understand that one is integer, and then it will store. Okay, and then floating point numbers, if you just assign values for your variable, a is equal to 4.5, like that. So then by your Python by itself, it understand this one is floating point number. That's why we call this one as dynamic. And then it will assign memory for that one. And then string. Okay, here what is string? String is a collection of characters, ends with null character, represented within double quotes. That representation within double quotes in previous programming languages, but here in Python we can represent string within single quote also. And then next we discussed about string concatenation and replication, means how to concatenate two strings. How you concatenate two strings? Concatenate means how you add two string values. For concatenation, we use what? strcat, string concat function, in previous Java and as well as in your C programming languages. But here we are using different functions, inbuilt functions, but we are using plus symbol, addition symbol for concatenation, by using addition plus operator to concatenate two strings. And then we have different inbuilt functions for string concatenations. And then string functions, which are all the string functions we have, that are we discussed in this string concatenation. And replication means how you find out the string length, and then how you can represent the string, so that we discussed in this concept. and then next storing values in variables, how to store the values in variables, how that values will get stored in the form of variables in your memory that we discussed, and then your first program, how to type your first program and execute, and then dissecting your program means how your program will get executed, which are other things will happen means dissecting in the sense how you take input, how you print output, that input and output functions, so that we discussed in dissecting your program. So this entire concept we discussed in first chapter, that is Python basics. So and then in second chapter we discussed about flow control. Flow control means here we discussed about if else, nested if and switch concepts we discussed here. So mainly in uh, conditional statements. So you in your C you discussed, right, conditional branching statements. So in conditional branching statement we are mainly we write a condition, that condition will give output in the form of boolean. That's why we discussed about boolean expression, and then we are using comparison operators or conditional operators. We are using that conditional operator, boolean operator, and then mixing of boolean and comparison operators that we discussed first, and then next elements of flow control. Okay, so the which are the elements, if else. So here that syntax is totally different than your C, C++ and Java. So that we discussed when we go to this second chapter, and then how to execute the program, and then flow control statements, and then importing modules, and end of program earlier with system.exit means if you want to end the program, so there we use exit, right, exit function. By using that one we can exit from the executing current executing program. So like that here also we have some inbuilt function called system.exit. Okay, that function we discussed. Okay, and then next flow control. In flow control we are using conditional statements and as well as that looping statements. If you want to control the flow of execution of your program, so mainly we use while, do while, okay, and then for loop. So that looping statements we are discussing in flow control. Okay, so flow control statements, and then next one is condition. Here in flow control we discussed both conditional branching statement, unconditional branching statements, and as well as looping statements. And then next one is functions. So here functions you already studied in your C. So and that same methods we studied in your Java, but here we function, how to create function. For here we use different syntax. Means we are here they introduce one keyword def. By using that def keyword you can create your own functions. So how to create that function, okay, how to use that functions, okay, all those things we discussed in the third chapter. So now we start with first chapter. In first chapter we discussed about the basics, and in second chapter flow controls, looping and conditional branching statement, unconditional branching statement, and then functions. So these three chapters you have in your first module. Now we start discussing first chapter, that is Python basics. So in that first concept we discussed about entering expression into interactive cell. So entering expression into interactive shell. So if we want to discuss this one, before starting this expression, how we are going to type into interactive shell, first you need to download the software, and then if we work in that software, then only you can easily understand how we can enter the expression. Now i show you how to install the software, which software we are going to use. Okay, and then how to type a program, and how to use uh, the Python a program, how to write the Python program, and then how to execute. So first, what do you want to do in the sense? So we have plenty of Python IDE. IDE, you know, IDE means interactive development environment. Interactive development environment means, so that one is a platform, that one is a software where we are going to execute our programmings. So for C, you installed code blocks, okay, and then turbo C++ for C++, and then Java. For Java, JDK, okay, you install JDK. In that JDK also we have different types of JDK are there. So in that some of them are used different types. Okay, so now currently 1.8 JDK is very important, but we are using different Java software. So some Jupyter, something, some Java available softwares are there. You install that software, and then without JDK, your Java will not run. That way, you know. So like that here for Python also, you have different versions. Okay, different version, and then different IDEs are there now. Currently, we are using 3.8 version Python, but we have different IDEs. So in the different IDEs, you can execute your Python program. Okay, but now I suggest you to install Anaconda software. Inside that Anaconda software, you have Spider IDE. So in that Spider IDE, you can execute your Python program. Why I suggest this Anaconda software means, so next semester, in 7th semester, you have machine learning subject. Okay, so are you heard about this one? I hope. Okay, in that machine learning subject, we have lab also. So that lab in our college, we conduct that lab by using Anaconda software. Okay, so for that reason, I suggest you to install Anaconda software in your computers. Okay, Anaconda Lite software is available. Download that one and then installed and start working. Okay, so now we start working on basic concepts. Okay, so now I show you how to download and install. Actually, I download that software and now I am uploading that software to your Google Classroom. If you don't know how to download that software and all, okay, in browser, directly you go to Google Classroom and then download, and then you download from that Google Classroom. It's available in your Google Classroom. Okay, download from that and then you install. Okay, so wait. Okay, see here in your Google Classroom. So I created a material called software file. So in that software, I uploaded Anaconda software. You download this one and then install. Hardly it's around 467 MB is there. Okay, you download and install. Otherwise, if you want to directly install from online, okay, so go to anaconda.com. Okay, so go to anaconda.com. Okay, so go to anaconda.com and then here you click download button. Okay, and then here it will show some of the versions of okay, here you see. Okay, so here if you go to anaconda.com products are individual, or better you go to, okay, so you go to browser and then search Anaconda Lite software free in download, and then next you get plenty of available softwares. Okay, that contains available websites that contains Anaconda software. So whether you go to official website, anaconda.com, so click this first link and then it's open like this. So here you scroll down and then press download, so it will go here. First you go and select uh, your operating system, which one is your operating system. If your operating system is Windows, so Windows. If your system having 32-bit, or first you check your configuration, 32-bit system or 64-bit system. If your system contains Windows operating system and then 32-bit, you download 32-bit. If your system is 64-bit, then you download 64-bit. Okay, so I downloaded 64-bit Anaconda software for Windows. Okay, only for Windows, not for Mac and Linux OS. So Windows OS, so you download that one. Okay, so you download that one and then if you want to download directly from browser, then you do this one. Otherwise, if your system is contain operating system Windows 64-bit, directly you download the software from Google Classroom and then install. Okay, install. After installing, okay, after installing, after installing, you go to start menu. So type Anaconda. Okay, so after you install your software, if you don't know how to install, go to YouTube and then you type how to install Anaconda software in Windows operating system. So then you get a video, watch that video and then install. Okay, so and then you get icon like this, Anaconda Navigator. You click this one.